You found her burner phone a while back. We switched internet providers, and our new modem came with an app to manage the network and connections. It was unreal how many devices we had connected to the Wi-Fi. I was playing in the app one night and noticed an Android device phone we both have. Apple devices, at first I thought someone had guessed our Wi-Fi password, so I changed our passwords, but it came back a few days later. I was working from home one day and noticed the Android phone disappeared when my wife Cindy went to work. And when she got home that evening, the Android device returned. I finally got a chance to look through her car and litter her purse, but came up empty that night while she was in the shower. I went through her gym bag and finally found it tucked away in her briefcase. I didn't have time to try and look through it, so I put it back the next time she went to the gym. I went to look through it, but it was gone the next night. I found it again in a briefcase. This time I took it and tried to unlock it, but none of her old passwords would work. I decided to take the phone to a repair place down the street to see if they could unlock it. I had to confess to the tech the real reason for wanting to get into the phone, as I am a lame liar, and he felt sorry for me, I guess. And an hour later called me and said he was finished. He backed everything up to a thumb drive that I read when I got back home. I saw all the pictures and texts between her and two different guys over the last 9 months, including graphic discussions about their hookups. 6 years of marriage up in smoke, thought I was having a heart attack, couldn't breathe, and just sat there at the computer staring at it all. I got better after an hour and guessed it was just a panic attack. When Cindy got home, she was very anxious. She wandered around the house, obviously looking for her phone. I asked if she was okay, and she said she lost some papers from work and needed to find them. I offered to help, but she said she would find them. I got her back in the kitchen and pulled the burner phone out and asked if this is what she was looking for. There was that deer in the headlight look on her face and panic starting to rise. I said there could be only one reason why you would have a second phone in your briefcase, and I asked if she was cheating on me, which she denied. I said, fine, then give me the password so I can see for myself what was on it. She tried to turn it around on me, and that I was invading her privacy. I handed her back the phone and said her response just proved my suspicions. I sat down on the sofa and felt the hot flash again and started to cry a little. When she saw the tears, she softened and said it was only once, and she felt guilty about it and cut things off. I opened up the file on my tablet and handed it to her and asked only once. She kept saying she was sorry, that it wasn't my fault, and that she wanted to stay together. I said I needed some space to think, and we needed to separate while I decided how to move forward. She disagreed and said we needed to talk it out, so I started asking questions. Married co-workers, how did they meet? Where did they hook up? What kind of sex did they have? What did she do with them that she hasn't done with me? Were they bigger than me? Did she use protection? She finally said enough. She couldn't do this anymore. She asked how long I had known. I said I found the phone a week ago, but didn't see what was on until today. I said I was still in shock and needed time to process it all. She agreed to spend the rest of the week at her sister's house, and we could talk more this weekend. She wants to schedule a session with a marriage counselor next week, and I agreed to that. I didn't tell her I would be consulting an attorney tomorrow to get an idea of my options last Christmas. Her sister got a divorce after finding out her husband was having an affair. There were several family discussions about cheating at her parents' house and how low her ex-brother-in-law was for betraying his wife. I can't imagine what was going through her mind, sitting there being just as guilty. The thought of leaving her kills me, but I don't think I could forgive her or ever trust her again. We had been talking about kids, but I am so glad we were still waiting. New info first. My to-do list, one attorney showed my text collection to my attorney, and he is proceeding with the filings. He gave me a worksheet on things I need to do. In the meantime, all tests came back. -3 first affair partner's wife. I met with her this afternoon and gave her hard copies and a thumb drive. I showed her the pictures they had traded. She's not going to confront him with it until he is served. 4, Cindy's sister, not the one she is staying with, but the one who just divorced her cheating husband. I met with her tonight and showed her my greatest hits, the more damning text, and let her see what her sister had sent to her. Affair partner, she was angry and at the same time a little sad. She apologized to me and said she had no idea what her sister had been up to. If she had, she would have told me. I am sure I will hear about her sister when Sydney comes to the house tomorrow to get some of her things. She wants to sit down and talk, probably about how we are going to move forward. This may be the last entry here on this thread. I may post a separate update later if needed. Let's see what the community has in response to this story. Inform her sister and family of this before she has the opportunity to do damage control by accusing you of whatever she can think of, and gray rock her while you consult an attorney and SD test. Yes, best of luck. The op replies, she knows the mountain of truth I am sitting on, and we had a discussion about telling lies to our families and friends before she left today, attorney today, and seeing my doctor tomorrow. Reaction check. Well, isn't it ironic upgrading your internet connection not only boosted your download speed, but it also unveiled the whole new world of connections you never bargained for? Who knew your Wi-Fi upgrade would come with a side of detective work? It's like the universe decided to gift wrap a trail and deliver it straight to your modem. Next upgrade on the list, a firewall for your heart, and maybe a subscription to a free streaming service. At least you've got a solid connection with your attorney and your doctor. Now priorities, update, right, update. I found a burner phone in my wife's briefcase. I got a phone tech to hack into it and found over the last 9 months she had 2 affairs. When I confronted her with the phone, she denied having an affair and then said it was only once until I showed her copies of her texts and photos they had exchanged. I told her I needed some space to process this, and she has been at her sister's house all week. She wants to reconcile and go to Coos therapy to help us get past this. Since she has gone, I have decided to file for divorce and have a lawyer working on it. Her first affair partner was married, and I have reached out to her and shared her texts. She is currently starting divorce proceedings as well. One of her sisters recently got divorced due to her husband's infidelity. I shared everything with her as well. My wife Cindy came over to the house last night to get some things and to sit down and talk. She said she was sorry for hurting me, and she is still very much in love with me and wants to stay together. Her affairs were never about the quality or quantity of our sex life, and she asked if I felt like my need were ever neglected. Our sex life was pretty spicy. We averaged 4 to 5 times a week, and she initiated 50% of the time. She just enjoyed experiencing sex with other people and being showered with attention. She's willing to go to therapy to find out why she desires this and to help her be a better partner to me. She said she would understand if I wanted to pass to explore or get even by dating another woman. And if that was something I liked, we could look into having an open marriage so we could both explore that together. I told her that was not something I would ever be interested in. She said she missed me and wondered if there was a chance I was ready for her to come home, even if it meant sleeping in the spare bedroom for now. I said it still felt like too soon, and it might be better if we gave it some more time. I didn't tell her that I had filed for divorce. She should get served sometime this next week. According to my lawyer, we had a session scheduled for Wednesday for Coos counseling that I have to cancel. Besides their betrayal, our views on our relationship are miles apart to even consider reconciling. Cindy was a little upset when her sister ambushed her over her affairs, but she figured it was coming. I guess her whole family knows at this point, and her parents are upset with her as well this morning. A few of our mutual friends stopped by to check on me and ended up trying to encourage me to give Cindy another chance and work things out. I asked how much they knew and brought them up to speed, showing them the phone and all of its contents. Needless to say, they were previously misinformed and now embarrassed. Let's see what the community has to say. First up, you're modeling how to do things the right way. That's rare around here, especially the self-respect aspect. I bet your soon-to-be ex will move in with some sucker within 6 months. The next person has this to offer. Besides the betrayal or views on a relationship are miles art to even consider reconciling. I'm sorry, but it seems like you never really knew your wife. She never revealed her true self to you. The deception is insane. Keep that ball rolling. As for your friends, well, they should never encourage you one way or the other. They should support you in the decision you make. Why would they ever believe Cindy the lying cheater? Embarrassment warranted. The op replies, as far as why they believe Cindy, it's easy to believe someone. You know when you don't know the whole truth, and she is spinning her own narrative and leaving out the facts that make her look bad, someone else from the community reacts. And this is why you need to divorce her. If she really wanted to work on things with you, she would have been open, honest, transparent, etc., but she's lying and minimizing things she did to you and to others, she wants to save her own behind. And when the betrayed partner stays with the cheater, it helps show everyone it wasn't so. So bad this her wanting to work on things with you is about her and her alone, not you. It's about what it does for her, what she can get out of it. She wasn't and still isn't thinking about you, only herself. One last community thought. Before we move on, something that always amazes me is when a wayward wife is caught, not confess. They always suggest therapy and say they can change and be better and are willing to do anything to stay together. Where was all that enthusiasm to fix the marriage before? Before they cheated, she says her affairs were never about your sex life, but rather her need to be with others, really, as if that would make you feel so much better. Like, oh, I get it. Yeah, in that case, why would I leave? I hope you speak sarcasm. Now she wants to get back together, like that need would just disappear. Ope, stay the course. She is just ridiculous. Hopefully she will get therapy and do better in her next relationship. She has broken this one, beyond repair. Any so-called friends that are asking you to reconsider, ask them if you can have sex with their wife and if they will stay with her after. So they know what they are asking of you. If they say no, then tell them to shut the F up. They have no idea. I like the fact that you know you deserve more and have enough respect for yourself to walk away from someone who thinks so little of you that they would cheat and think you would just sweep it under the rug and accept them back with open arms. He's some reaction people. Well, Cindy's really pushing for that couple therapy, huh? It's like she's treating this whole mess like an audition for the Bachelor Marriage Counseling Edition. I mean, she's got the drama, the multiple partners, and even a supportive audience of friends who clearly missed the part where she cheated. Maybe she would get a therapist who specializes in, why did I think this would work after cheating, 101. Meanwhile, you've already booked your tickets out of this reality show. Good call in keeping your self-respect intact and not auditioning for her sequel, Cheating Wives of Whereverville. Stay strong. Update 2 op. Update 2. Note this edit triggered a spam bot to delete my post. Trying one more time, you've been served. I guess the third time is a charm. It took the processed server 3 attempts to serve her today, but at 2:15 p.m., Cindy was finally served at her office. I was surprised it took her an hour to finally call me. She was upset, and I told her it was a simple power exchange. She had all the power before, and now I have taken it back. I told her that before we could talk about reconciliation, I had to be in a safe space, and that meant terminating our old relationship before dealing with anything else. I asked her. When she started to cheat, what she thought would happen if she got caught. And isn't that the reason she got a second phone? She still wants to work things out. And I agreed to go to counseling with her, if for no other reason than to get answers to questions I have. At least our insurance is paying for most of the cost of therapy. I have little desire to reconcile, but I'm just playing along till the divorce gets taken care of. The audience has a couple thoughts first. One, it took her an hour to finally call me H. In that hour, she was probably communicating with her affair partner. He turned her down, so she wants to reconcile, play the long game. And for your best interest alone, she had no concern for you when she was cheating. The op replies her current affair partner couldn't afford to keep her. He is not a high earner, definitely not able to sustain her lifestyle. She's always wanted to stay with me. Someone else chimes in. She has always wanted to stay with me. Just words op if she really wants to stay with you. She'd give you the full truth. She'd write you a full timeline of her affair and then agree to AP polygraph to back her written timeline up. She wants to keep to her lifestyle. And that is different from wanting you op. I was you 18 years ago. My lying, cheating ex-wife's affair partner could not afford her. My ex was and is greedy, selfish, and materialistic. 3 months after she moved to be near him, he dumped her. She attempted to come back to me. That was a hard no. She didn't want me. She wanted her lifestyle. I wanted a partner who actually wanted me. So she and I were no longer going to be a couple, stay on the divorce path, and you won't get the full truth from her. Op cheaters lie, and they reaction minimize. At least now she's facing the consequences of her choices, and you're reclaiming that power. Like a boss who knew marriage could come with a tutorial on power dynamics and divorce court as a final exam, keep playing along with the counseling. It's like an advanced course in how to grin and be it until the judge bangs the gavel. Confronting the AP music, confronting the affair partner. I had a bit of fun today after work. I stopped off at a downtown restaurant and had a drink at the bar. It was before the dinner rush and pretty slow, so I was able to have a long chat with the bartender. I told him I had recently found that my wife had been cheating with two different men for the last year. I told him the first affair partner was married and that I had met with his wife and given her copies of all the evidence I had collected. She had suspected he had been unfaithful, but never found any proof she was going to use what I had given her to take him to the cleaners. But she wasn't going to confront him until the day he got served. The bartender asked about the second guy. I said he was single, and I hadn't decided what to do about him yet. But I said I was a big believer in karma, and I wasn't afraid to help karma out. If the need arises, he laughed and said that was a good one. I finished my drink and gave him my credit card to tab out. He froze for a second when he saw my name. He gave me my receipt and I said, "Give my regards to Cindy, my wife," and said, "Be you seeing you." Reaction: Kevin. I've never read anything more satisfying in my life. There's nothing like dropping a truth bomb with your cocktail, right? At least you got to enjoy your drink and serve some spicy karma, all while leaving Kevin with a frozen grin who knew happy hour could double as an episode of Revenge on the Rocks. Bravo update. I shared emails and update pictures. With the wife of fair partner number one, she surprised him with divorce papers last week. I confronted affair partner number two at the restaurant where he works. I said he knew everything and said I would be seeing him. My favorite John Wick line: 2 days later, affair partner got fired from his job. Just karma, I had nothing to do with it. Swear told soon to be ex-wife's sister who got cheated on recently about her sister's shenanigans. Divorce papers were served to my soon-to-be ex-wife, credit cards canceled, and bank accounts separated at my request. She did not attend a birthday party for one of my friends this weekend. She was also uninvited to an annual barbecue with our friend group on Memorial Day. Yesterday, we had a coos counseling session. It started with me getting ripped for costing her affair partners their marriage and job respectively. I said, well, I had nothing to do with Kevin losing his job. I had no sympathy for either one of them due to what they did to contribute to wrecking our marriage when I asked how she knew all of this. And if she had been in contact with them since we split up, she deflected and said they reached out to her. I asked to see her phone to confirm that, and she refused. So I said, I guess we are done then, and stood up to leave. Our therapist tried to smooth things over and get us talking. I asked why she cheated on me and how she met her affair partners. She had a very well-rehearsed answer I didn't believe and won't dignify by repeating it here. But she was being very contrite, complete with tears about wanting to reconcile and save our marriage. Of course, she wants to move back in while we work on settling our differences and fixing our relationship. Our therapist did an excellent job of being fair and not trying to take sides. She asked me what I needed to be able to move forward, and I gave her a list of 5 things I needed: full account of the affair, where they met, and how often, all the details with nothing held back, a list of friends and relatives who knew of the affair when it was happening, full access to her phone tonight. Before we leave, a full apology and confession of the affair on her social media accounts, including the names of her affair partners. Once the divorce is finalized, I would go to therapy with her again to see if we have a relationship left to salvage after much back and forth. She agreed to everything except number 3 and number 5. I conceded number 3, but said she needed to retain a lawyer and respond to divorce papers ASAP. I told her she killed the marriage when she decided to cheat, and that had to be resolved before we could move forward this afternoon. She posted her apology confession to her social media accounts. Complete with affair partner is tagged. I haven't heard from her since our recession, so I don't know about the other items. I also got word that her attorney had reached out to mine to arrange a meeting for next final update week. Final update, we met with the lawyers earlier this week, and I was pleased with the settlement. For the most part, she agreed to give me the house in exchange for assuming $111,000 of credit card debt I had originally told her. If we had to sell the house, I would be moving to another city, and reconciliation would probably be off the table. I did have to commit to 3 more couples counseling sessions under the pretense of working on having an open relationship. She wants to move back in soon, but I said I needed some more time with my own personal therapist before I'm comfortable with that. All that matters is that she signed the settlement agreement, and after a short waiting period, the divorce will be final. Thanks for everyone's support and advice, and this will be my final update. Once the divorce is final, I will follow one suggestion to let her read the posts and realize the player got reaction played. Ah, the sweet symphony of karma. Divorce papers delivered like a surprise. Pizza job terminations served like a cold dish of revenge, and social media confessions sprinkled with a dash of indication I love when everyone gets what's coming to them. Cheers to turning life's lemonade into a lemon-scented disaster zone. Do you have a similar story with an epic, shaken, not stirred cocktail? Moment, share it with us in the comments below, and thank you for joining.